Yeah, it's Rich being AZ, slightly different problem with the G today. The clutch, I noticed the last times I was taking it out, it was very hard to push in, and it seemed to improve as the engine warmed up a bit. So I'm going to guess it's something down in the master cylinder, which is under this cover. So I'm going to take it all apart today and have a look, see if I can find any reason why it's hard to pull. So 3 of the screws are very easy to find, although the bottom 2 are nicely hidden. But this one is particularly well hidden. You've got to pull out this rubber plug, and then way down the bottom of that hole, which is hard to line up because it's a long way in. And of course it's totally blind. There it is. So that's about 4 inches in, and I've got it there. Now I can use this to loosen it up, and I'll be able to take it out. Fun. I'm pulling it off. You see these are all rubber mounted. Here's the one that's way down deep inside. It's quite a way in, isn't it? Hard to find. So all 4 are rubber mounted. So I am going to drain all the fluid out. One of the things you want to be careful about when you've got the cap off. See, I'm just touching the clutch lever a little bit, and it will pump a bit. This is the slack that they give you, and so it doesn't pressurize all the time. But I'm going to drain it all out from the bottom end, which is where this little bleed nipple comes in very handy. And I'm going to use my Mighty Vac to suck it all out. The Mighty Vac comes with an adapter like this. I had no idea, but yeah, this is what is designed to fit over these things. It fits nicely. And this is an 8mm, so I'll crack that, get some vacuum on it. So I've got a good vacuum pulled on it, and it's sucking it out very slowly, but it is coming. You can see it moving up through the tube and everything. So I'll just keep going until it's drained. I have to get all the fluid out with the entry here. This is obviously going to be full of fluid because it's designed to let the air out at the top of the cylinder. But you're going to have to invert this to get it all out. So I've got the top 14 out, the bottom is a long bolt. Yep, can't mistake that one. Goes in the bottom. And you can just take it off. Twist it a bit. And then you should be able to put a bit of vacuum on it. And then just slide this back in just to hold it in that position so that it's all running downhill. Then I'm going to put a bit more vacuum on the device to suck the rest of the stuff out. Okay, so I did finally get the piston out. I had to put the system back together so I get some hydraulic fluid in there to push it out. It looks like some of the grease I had on there has just dried out, and it is just solid. So I'm going to have to clean it all up, and that was causing a partial seizure, so the clutch wasn't working properly. So I'm going to clean it all up, and it should be clean enough to go back together. There's no rust in there, which is good to know. It just needs a good clean out. Oh, word to the wise. Start pushing the piston out early before you drain all the hydraulic fluid out. Okay, so I'm going to reassemble this with some Prestone brake lube, which is weirdly purple. Yay! But this should be okay to use brake fluid. Clutch fluid's the same stuff. I'm just wiping it around the inside. because stopping the corrosion is going to be the biggest thing. Do not want this to corrode out. It's irreplaceable parts. Right. Should just slide right in like that. It slips in pretty easily. The spring pushes it out, whereas it wasn't before because it was sticking. Alright, good sign. Okay, so bleeding the brake system on here is notoriously difficult, so what I'm going to do, I don't know if this is going to work easily or not, I'm going to push it in and just have a bolt in there just to hold it in position. Then I'm going to fill from the top and let it drain through by gravity. So I'm going to connect up the thing here. Okay, so I'm getting a little bit of a gravity drain through here. I've got this open quarter return, so I am actually getting a bit of fluid to drain through. Give it a little bit of a pump, just to help it on its way. Close it temporarily. Get no pressure at the handlebar. Just let it keep going for a little bit. It's draining through. Stop it off there. Then I'm going to take this off and let the piston come out a bit and suck all the rest of the fluid down. Okay, you may not be able to see this, but the spring is pushing the piston up. And that's about as far up as I want it to go. I don't want it to push out all the way. I don't think the fluid on its own, just draining with gravity, will do it, but I know that's about as far as I want it to go. So I'm going to put it back onto the piston rod and then just slowly shove it in, because this is going to push the fluid back into the reservoir and hopefully take air bubbles with it. Just let it hold there. So if we've got any air bubbles coming through. Okay, well I think I got lucky, got it right there. I refilled the top cylinder and just squeezed the clutch lever. Quick brake like that, and that allowed the air to bubble out, and now I have a good hard but smooth to operate lever, so it should be good for a week or two at least, right? Now all I've got to do is tighten it all up and it's done.